most collectors agree that Mattel, they did not take advantage of the Cars Toons that Disney literally just presented to them in their lap. Like a gift from the heavens fell right into their grasp. And sure, they did a couple things here and there, but there are so many potential diecasts that they could have released from the Toons, and they pretty much just stopped in 2010. After 2010, they only did like 3 new ones scattered between 2014 and 2015. I think those 3 new ones are pretty much just like a regular Tokyo Mater, Bucky Breakdust, and Kabuto with flames. Other than that, we've gotten no new Cars Toons diecast, and man, it still pains me to this day. Fortunately, Air Mater, the short that we'll be focusing on today, has a decent amount of diecast. All things considered, you know, it was one of the later shorts, which meant that it didn't get as much attention as the earlier ones, Rescue Squad Mater, Tokyo Mater, and of course, Mater the Greater. Those 3 got the absolute most attention. El Matador was also early, but they only released 3 diecasts from that and a playset. Private Eye Mater, nothing at all. It still remains to this day the only short Mattel did nothing for, except in the Mini Racers line recently. Time Travel Mater, they only did the diecast exclusive to Cars Land, and they're uber rare now. What else do we have to rag on about? Heavy Metal Mater's okay. Moon Mater, meh. I mean, they just, oh my god, I don't want to get started. I mean, the best example are all the Mia and Tia paint jobs from the shorts, and they only did them, the 2 Rescue Squad Mater ones, the Dalmatian and Nurse versions, and then in Mater the Greater, and that was it. They didn't do El Matador, they didn't do Tokyo Mater, Heavy Metal Mater, Moon Mater, and they literally appear in every short except for Time Travel Mater. Fortunately, I have the set of customs here of the Air Mater, Mia, and Tia, which are really cool. I reviewed them on my channel. But yeah, guys, welcome back to Forlorn Favorites. That's quite the long intro, but you know, when you guys get me ranting, you guys get me going, you guys get me fired up, I can't stop. This is chapter 39 overall, but the 4th episode of part 2 of season 3. Yes, yeah. I broke it up into 2 parts this year, so it always confuses me, but it is the 11th then episode overall of season 3. And we'll obviously be reviewing Air Mater and Air Lightning McQueen, I guess. Mater Hawk, Lightning McQueen, whatever you want to call it. These guys are really cool, and I think they're super underrated. Of course, only released once back in like 2011, 2012, around there for the Take Flight collection. They were released alongside several other deluxes, like you have one of the Falcon Hawks. You have one of the Falcon Hawks with the bandage, which is why Mater even got to perform in the spectacular to begin with, because this poor guy got dinged up. Wonder what really happened here. Like, this is a very forlorn release as well. Honestly, everything from Air Mater is. But yeah, they even did this weird 2-pack with metallic Air Mater and McQueen. Super odd releases. I'm not reviewing them really today, but they're pretty much the exact same as the one we're reviewing, just metallic. Now I'm going to toss an image there of Air Mater from the short on the screen. When he breaks up and breaks the sound barrier, it honestly reminds me a lot of in Cars on the Road when Mater breaks out of his super speeder outfit. Like, if you watch those scenes back to back, like the bolts break off him in very similar ways and he just kind of explodes out of his suit. Of course, there's McQueen. McQueen comes in such an amazing way. He just comes in, they play like this great music, like, and it's just like, he saves Mater, he comes in, saves the day. Honestly, it's probably one of McQueen's best entrances in any of the shorts. I think the best one is Dragon McQueen, because he just comes in, he's like, destroys a couple ninja clowns. But in like El Matador, he just like comes in and does nothing besides get chased around by some bulls. What else? Oh, of course, Rescue Squad Mater, he's burning in the building. Mater the Greater, yeah, so some of the shorts he comes in and serves as like basically a fool, you know. He has no idea what he's doing. He's thrust into a foreign situation. But in like a couple of them, like Heavy Metal Mater, Tokyo Mater, Air Mater, he comes in a very badass way and just like saves the day. Oh man, I love Heavy Metal Mater's McQueen intro as well. Wow. All right, guys. lots of side topics to talk about. But yeah, I love these guys, and I'm happy to be giving them some more attention. So you can see here that McQueen has a very boisterous expression. He's screaming, he's yelling, and I absolutely love it, because usually we just see McQueen in a very, resting, pretty stoic. I mean, he's smiling, but it's just pretty much like a typical robotic Lightning McQueen expression. But here he's got a lot of emotion going on, and you can kind of see his eyes under there at the right angle, but it's a pretty tinted visor. Reminds me a lot of Fabrizio and his tinted windshield there. But yeah, this expression's awesome. It's really cool that he doesn't have a mouth plate. Like usually you're expecting like the mouth plate to be right there, but no. He's got these red wheel caps on his rims there, completely black tires, yellow trim on his blue Lightning. I mean, all of see, his is more of like a bolt. You could see it's shaped more like a bolt, whereas the other ones you'd think at first glance are like the same, but they're more shaped triangularly here and just kind of in a more wing type style. Like it's a clear difference that, McQueen's are meant to look like a lightning bolt to represent his usual design. I mean, even if you look at the regular Falcon Hawk planes, and they do this a lot, like with Daredevil McQueen, they incorporate the design to match McQueen's, overall aura. Take a look here at that Falcon Hawk decal, which is really nice. It's got one of the typical planes, a couple stars. He's got a lightning bolt logo on his helmet there. Mater has an M. The other ones, the other regular planes don't have anything there. He has a lightning bolt on one of his wings back here as well. It looks like mine has a little chip up top. That kind of stinks. I love this logo down here as well. It says Lightning McQueen Hawk, and then there's the badge with the lightning bolt, and then 3 regular planes and Mater, because that was the initial grouping for the big performance, right? It was 3 regular Falcon Hawks and Mater Hawk, but then Lightning McQueen Hawk came in later. You can see here he's got that text right there under the wing. So it's kind of interesting what's die-cast and what's plastic on this guy, because they melded together really nicely. It's hard to tell, but there's a crack right here along this triangle, and then that is all plastic. It's like the top portion of him that includes the wings and his roof here and the blue part, that is all plastic. But once you get to the red back here and even the wings, these wings, that is, they are die-cast metal. So these wings, though, are plastic. But it's really hard to notice, unless you're really trying to dissect it like we are. He's got his thrusters back here, the boosters, which are done really nicely. You could see like the turbines in there with the blades, but those are plastic pieces. Let's see when this guy was made. E28. Oh my gosh, he was made in Thailand? Oh my gosh, I had no idea. That is insane to me. I cannot believe this guy was made in Thailand. I don't think anyone really knows this. If you guys don't know why this is significant, Mattel started making all the cars in Thailand in 2006, but quickly changed to China and pretty much made exclusively in China until mid-2018, and now they've been Thailand and Vietnam in tandem, and now they're almost going full Thailand. But this is pretty unbeknownst to the majority of the community, in my opinion. I don't see anyone talking about this. I haven't seen anyone talk about this, but clearly some of these planes here, or maybe the entire Take Flight series, was made in Thailand, and that's why it has this different date stamp here of E28. I love saying bait stamp. I don't know why. Bait stamp. So that was the 28th week of probably 2011 or something. Maybe 2012. I'll have to really look up when these guys were exactly released, because you tend to think they did all the Cars Toon stuff before Cars 2, but that's not entirely true. So here you have Mater here. Again, his visor is not as tinted as Fabrizio's or even McQueen's, so you can see his eyes much better. Now there is much less die-cast metal on Mater, in fact, than McQueen. Like McQueen's probably a little heavier than Mater because the only die-cast is this front portion, before the blue. Like, so this part, the helmet, and the entirety of his back half here, like everything from here on out is plastic. In fact, looks like anything from here on out is plastic. So yeah, they really kind of went nuts on the plastic with this one, but it still looks really good and it looks sturdy. Obviously still worthy of being a deluxe and all that. So I'm pretty sure that both of these guys were released as singles, like in deluxe form, but they were also released in a 3-pack with this guy, of course, the regular Falcon Hawk. I think they called that one Falcon Hawk 1 and the one with the bandage Falcon Hawk Black. I don't know, kind of weird names. I wish they gave them actual names. And then the Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack of the metallic versions, which we'll get to in a moment here. As I liked McQueen's expression, I really do like Mater's as well. It's a little different than the typical, you know, I don't know. His buck teeth don't really come through here. At least, I mean, they're coming out, but they just don't look as jagged as they do on a typical Mater. So it makes him look a little bit cleaner. He's got the silver headlights right there. Same wheels as McQueen. Mater Hawk text under there. He's got that same Falcon Hawk logo on his helmet there, which is really nice. It actually pops off, of course. We know that. See, that's another thing. Like, they could have done so many variants from these shorts. Mater without helmet, then Monster Truck Mater. You could have done like the 3 phases before he got to the Tormentor. I mean, he wore like 3 different costumes before the like big, you know, daddy Tormentor style, you know, for the final fight. But nope, of course not. Mater also has that same logo as McQueen, which I feel like is a little weird, you know, because it has the lightning bolt, but they didn't know. I mean, did they know McQueen was going to be in the show? Did they plan for Mater to kind of fall out of the sky? I don't know. The way I always kind of saw it is Mater was like rescued by McQueen. McQueen was just kind of lingering on the ground and took off to, you know, save Mater once they realized he was kind of going out of control. But maybe it was a part of the show all along. Seems like it, you know, if they tossed a lightning bolt in their logo here. What does that say? Can't read what that says. Because this one says Lightning McQueen Hawk below that badge. This one must say Mater Hawk. Oh, yes, it does. Just wasn't looking like it at first. But yeah, that says Mater Hawk underneath the badge. M on the wings. And he also has his turbine thrusters back here as well, although they look a little different. Quite a bit different. You know, inside these ones on McQueen, you can see like the blades of the turbine, like a typical, you know, windmill or whatever. But here, there aren't really many blades in there. I don't know, it's just a different design. Obviously, they're bigger. Love that he still has the classic A113 license plate. And the text above A113 is actually Nazca, like Moon Mater, you know, from Moon Mater, the carified version of NASA. So I wonder what the deal is with that. That's pretty cool. I don't think we see his license plate in the show or in the short, so it's kind of unverifiable. Now comparing him to the metallic version here. Same exact expression, same exact decals, same exact metal and plastic parts, but I love that they made as much as they could metallic. You know, even the rims on this guy are metallic red, which looks super nice. Oh my God, even the base is metallic red. And yep, sure enough, also made in Thailand. This guy's E30. This one's E38. That one's a little bit later. Wow. I can't not say that, like, all these guys are Forlorn. Like, literally, I think pretty much every Air Mater diecast is Forlorn. You can't tell me they're not. These are some of the most underappreciated metallic releases ever. I mean, they've done a lot of metallic releases over the years, but no one ever talks about metallic Mater Hawk and Lightning McQueen Hawk. So in the same vein as Mater, he's got the metallic rims, which looks awesome. And honestly, a weird like pack to do. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me that they did this. I love that they did, but it's so random, right? It's just out of the blue. Let's make a metallic Mater Hawk, McQueen Hawk 2-pack, and we're going to make it exclusive to Toys R Us. Sure, they did Metallic Dragon McQueen, released that with the collector guide, but I don't know, that felt a little bit more on brand with them instead of doing this weird, just kind of one-off 2-pack in the middle of a off kind of side series of Take Flight. And you also had a weird 3-pack, of course, like I mentioned, with Mater, McQueen, and one of the planes. So yeah, guys, I did want to kind of show him with Daredevil McQueen. They just kind of seem similar to me in the sense that they're doing stunts. One of which, though, is super confident, and the other one is about to die. Yeah. Again, just showing how different the personality of McQueen would be, like, from short to short. And I like that they changed it up. It's like Rescue Squad Mater, Mater the Greater, El Matador. So I guess after they got after those three, then they're like, all right, we're going to make McQueen cool. Tokyo Mater, he's going to be great. Heavy Metal Mater, great. Air Mater, great. Mater Private Eye, save the day yet again. What else? Unidentified. Oh my God, he is the most pointless in unidentified Mater. Jesus. Unidentified Flying Mater. He is probably the worst out of any of the shorts. Like, they worked him in horribly. I don't even know if it's fair to say they worked him into that short at all. They just kind of put him there. Didn't give him a new paint job or anything. He was just suddenly there. Served no purpose for the storyline whatsoever besides being, you know, like, just because of the precedent that they had set that McQueen has to eventually, like, show up in every episode. So yeah, I didn't like him on Unidentified Flying Mater. So here you have one of the Falcon Hawks. Is this guy made in Thailand too? Oh, he does. I think, yeah, it was because you have the shortened date stamp of E24. Oh, yeah, I can see it over here on the wing. So this is like your King Falcon Hawk. Again, a very underrated release. It's a cool looking plane. A lot of customs could be made off that because it's a very standard one. And then, of course, you have Falcon Hawk Black, whose expression is the exact same, unfortunately, as the regular Falcon Hawk, so I'm not super pumped about that. But then again, since it is a plane, there's limited surface area to change the expression. They gave him landing gear, which of course is accurate because he ain't gonna be flying with this hurt wing. I hurt my wing. He said something like that. And he's number 4. And a nice little plastic bandage on it. Such a weird release, honestly. But I guess they were trying to diversify the releases. They couldn't just release all the Falcon Hawks because they'd literally be identical except for the number. But hey, release one with landing gear, the bandage. It's different enough, right? They did Prop Wash Junction Biplane, which is, again, a very, forgotten release. Most people may not even know that it exists. Then you have Aviator Mater, who appears when he's training with Skipper and Sparky. Again, another really cool thing I have yet to mention about Air Mater is that it previewed and promoted the Planes movie, the first Planes movie, as it had Skipper and Sparky, even though Sparky ended up taking on a slightly different design, but Skipper is the exact same. Skipper's flight school is the same. And you could probably assume that even though this came out before the Planes movie, the short canonically would take place after the Planes movie because Skipper was willing to teach Mater how to fly. And in Planes, at the beginning, he was all kind of reluctant and cooped up in his hangar. Again, this is a pretty cool release. I like the rusty flags and all that. So again, maybe, one day, Season 4, Season 5 of Forlorn Favorites, I'll have reviewed all of the Air Mater cars just through that series because so much good stuff, so much to talk about yet. Not the time, unfortunately. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed talking about Air Mater. I keep saying Air Mater, but it's Air Mater. Those one-syllable words really trip me up. I will see you guys next Friday for another episode, or if you're watching this on any random day, cool. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys soon for another video. Bye now.